Okay. Our next question is from Filipe. He says, Paleo lifestyle is a way of minimizing the occurrence of cancer in former smokers. Hey, Rob, thank you for your wonderful contributions to our collective and personal health. Your teachings left a lasting, highly beneficial imprint on my health and on my well-being. A part of that was quitting smoking. As a former smoker, what can I do now to minimize the risks of cancer? Since there are millions of former smokers in the US alone, your answers will certainly appeal to a large audience. Thank you so much.
So this is really interesting, and there's actually a very interesting development of late. Philip Morris, tobacco manufacturer extraordinary, for a couple of hundred years, I think they've been making tobacco products. They just started offering life insurance for people who quit smoking. So there's all kinds of interesting economic, things to be learned from that. But it's really interesting that the most important thing to do as a smoker, if you want to minimize your risk of all the associated problems, is to just stop smoking. Like if you just stop smoking, the change that occurs on your risk profile is just nothing short of amazing. And then beyond that, circadian biology, I would probably put right at the top of the list. Get out in the sun early, get that sun on your skin, appropriate vitamin D levels, go to bed early. Like that circadian biology piece, I could almost make an argument is more important on the whole cancer story. I may modify that over time, but people get super focused on food, and the food's important. And again, for the cancer story, just not overeating is a huge factor. And then we start iterating, beyond that. This is maybe a scenario, though, that we could make a case for a couple of 3 to 5 day fasts a year, at least even for the first couple of years. It's maybe an argument for a 16-8 eating window and stuff like that. But again, all of that stuff, I can't emphasize it enough. It's really cool. It's really interesting. It may end up being the bee's knees as we move along. But if we know anything for sure, if we sleep better, if we do some exercise, if we get out in the sun, if we lift some weights, if we don't overeat, then we're stacking the deck massively in our favor. We know that for a fact. And then some of these other things, if they're amenable to your lifestyle, sure, drop them in. A little 16-8 fasting, maybe some extended ketosis, maybe a longer fast a couple of times a year. But those things I would definitely put in the highly speculative category at this point. Not that they're not valuable, not that we shouldn't investigate them, but really make sure that you are buttoned up on the things that we know about first, and then we can start iterating from there. And I'm stoked that we've had influence on what you've done. Yeah, I could never get my parents to stop smoking, and that was one of the things that I just begged them to do. So that's awesome that this has been a part of what's happened.